Hello. Every year around this time I do a blog about lymphoma. So this is blog number 1 for 2020, which for everybody has been a very strange year. So the reason I do these little blogs is just because, lymphoma is not it is a common cancer, but it's not one that people are aware of. Let's put it like that. So it's to make you aware of symptoms and things that could affect you, but also to show you what someone now 7 years down the line looks like who's still living with cancer, because I have a type of cancer that is incurable but highly treatable. So that's what this week's blogs will be about, and what that has been like actually living under COVID restrictions, and what it means for somebody with lymphoma as well. So just to briefly tell you what happened 7 years ago, I developed a pain in my hip. And to cut a very long story short, eventually they discovered that I had a type of lymphoma called large B-cell lymphoma. And you only get large B-cell lymphoma if you have an underlying condition like I do, which is low-grade follicular lymphoma. And that hadn't been detected, so it had then gone a bit AWOL, and hence the tumour had emerged, and I needed chemotherapy and a nice cocktail of drugs to go with that. And the chemotherapy cured the diffuse B-cell lymphoma, which was the dangerous part at that time. But what I ended up with was a diagnosis of an incurable cancer, which I do remember 7 years ago was quite hard to take on board. Now I feel kind of used to it, because I'm so used to hearing myself say it, and saying words like "I'll be well until I'm not," because that's how having this type of cancer works. It sort of feels like it lies dormant until it decides to misbehave, and nobody knows exactly why it decides to have a little flurry or get worse. Yes, it could potentially polish me off. Staying well is important, and I'll talk about that across the next few days. So my symptoms were rather unusual in that it was a pain in the hip, but the underlying condition would have been potentially diagnosed via classic symptoms of fatigue, night sweats, itchy skin, swollen glands. So that's what that was. It was a lymph in my groin area, but quite commonly you might end up with a lump that wouldn't necessarily hurt. So it's not like mumps in your neck or something like that. So those are the very, very short details, and I won't hold you up any longer today, but over this week I'll talk about different aspects of it with you. And feel free to message me if you want to talk about it any further. All right. Thank you. Bye.